Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alan. This is Cast to Life. As you can see, I finally was able to get out on the water for a little while today. So stay tuned for some on the water content coming up. On today's episode, I'm going to be covering the Bassmaster Elite Series event down on the Harris Chain of Lakes in Leesburg, Florida. Really excited about this event. Just one quick thing, if you are looking for the Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing picks for this week, I'll put chapters in this so you know right where to go for that information. Otherwise, let's go ahead and dive right into Harris Chain. This is a chain of lakes outside the Orlando area. It's about 8 lakes, the biggest of which is Lake Harris, which is about 15,000 acres. And they go all the way down to, there's one of the lakes is about 375 acres. So, and everything in between. There's gonna be lots of vegetation, lots of lily pads, things like that. The Bassmasters should be able to do pretty much what they want to in this tournament. We're looking at some fantastic weather down there as far as being warm and the water temperature should be up, and things should be kind of getting into that normal Florida spawning season type of event. So looking forward to that. Should be some giant bass caught, and I'm just excited to see it. Another thing, this tournament backs up right to the full moon. So when we're talking about bedding bass, you're talking about the full moon. That is a time of the month where when they get ready to go do their thing as far as spawning goes, that full moon is one of the big catalysts that kind of pushes that. So excited about that. There should be plenty of fish, still in that staging pre-spawn type of situation, getting ready to push up on the beds. There should be plenty of fish on the beds, and there also should be some fish that have already spawned out that are already in their post-spawn pattern. So whatever these pros are good at, whatever they like to do, they should be able to find it in this tournament. Consequently, I'm looking for the weight to be giant at the top. I think, man, we're going to be pushing 100 pounds. I would not be surprised to see 100 pounds of bass caught over 4 days in this tournament, and that be your winner. I'd be really shocked if anybody had under 20 pounds a day and made the top 10. Let's just dive into the Bassmaster Fantasy picks that I've got selected for this week. Start with Group E. Now, Group E was a little bit of a difficult choice for me because you do have some really good anglers in this group that maybe should be in higher groups. And you could say that also about Group D, which we'll cover here in a second. I mean, you look at Kyle Welcher in this group. You look at Ike in this group, Ike and Ellie. There's a lot of, just a lot of people in this group that, could potentially do well in the tournament. Kyle Welcher right now has got about 23% of people have him on their roster. I did not go with Kyle, but that would be a fantastic selection if that's who you have. I picked Jesse Takarani out of Orlando, Florida. He's kind of the one local guy, Florida guy that is in that group. So I went local and went with him. Group D, we've got an even bigger choice here. Okay, Seth Feider's in this group. Defending Angler of the Year there. You've got Greg Hackney in this group, who has a history of being good on Harris Chain. Mark Menendez is in this group. With all of that said, when you get a chance to take Seth Feider out of Group D, that's going to be that's not going to happen very often. So I did select him out of that group. Group C, in this group, of course, you've got Hank Cherry in this group. Scott Martin is in this group, who I expect to have a big tournament. You've got Brian Schmidt in this group. Gerald Swindle's in this group. Lots of great anglers to pick from there. But I am going to roll with Jason Christie out of Group C. Group B was kind of a no-brainer for me. I went with Jacob Krosnick for obvious reasons. He's had some good success down there in Florida, and I think that he is probably going to be the best choice out of that group, but we shall see. Group A, safe choice, John Cox. What can you say about John Cox in Florida? He's going to stand a good chance to be right at the top of the leaderboard. It's the safe pick. It's the kind of the community pick, but that's who I went with out of Group A. So that takes care of Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing picks for this week. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.